We are back at Coach's Corner East at the Galleon Pizza Hut on this Wednesday, January 5th, and so glad to have you aboard. We're going to be talking with the lady swimmers of Colonel Crawford here in just a moment. And the show is brought to you in part by Steve Kurtzman and Associates at Innovative Recycling, 352 South Street in Galleon. Candy Bolin at Bolin Realty, 2 blocks west of the Uptown Galleon Square. John Cross at Cross Carpet and Custom Floors, 302 North Seltzer Street, downtown Crestline. And it's my pleasure to welcome back to the microphone after being here a couple weeks ago with the boys. It's Shelli Ashley and Coach Ashley. Thanks for giving up your time again tonight.
You're welcome.
And another group, decent-sized group here tonight, and a group of girls that, for lack of a better term, is pretty special and have a lot of opportunities to do some really good things. But you know, I was looking at some statistics from last year, and Hanna really did some nice things down at state. 22nd in the state in the 200-yard freestyle, 17th in the state in the 500 freestyle, and then you had a couple relay teams that did well. 19th in the state in the 200-yard freestyle relay, Cassidy Vogt, Katie Hanna, Riley Ritzoff, and Abby Martin. And then in the 400-yard freestyle relay, same participants, maybe in a different order. When you look back at that season and with all the success that you guys have had in the past, was it what you expected? Likely not what you wanted, but what you expected?
They exceeded my expectations, honestly. They were so close to all Ohio, and last year was a very tough season. I had girls that were quarantined multiple times, and it's not easy to have a seat, you know, it's just not easy when they're getting pulled out of the water. It's not like they can go run on their own. They can't go swim at home. Right. You know, so.
Unless you got a big bathtub.
So it was just tough.
Yeah, for sure. But that was in the past. You have great opportunity now, and if the Northern 10 website and Lonnie's statistics and stuff are right, 12 swimmers on the team this year, is that correct?
13.
13,
yes.
One that's on there that...
We had one join about a month ago.
Okay.
A little late, but it's a great ad. It's Katie Hanna. She's back. Mm-hmm. So. Okay,
and so the senior?
She is a senior.
Senior, so you have 3 seniors. Maddy is here with us tonight, and also Hanna is here with us tonight, and then 5 juniors, Abby Martin, Kayla Payne, Regan Ritzoff, Emily Wallace, and Riley Ritzoff, right?
Reagan is not swimming.
She's not. Oh, okay, just the 4, and then 5 freshmen, which is kind of nice.
Yes.
In bringing those young people in, what is the biggest thing that you've kind of exposed them to be in high school swimming at a successful program?
So I think it's just the level of work. We've really, I think, amped it up to a different level. Like our winter training is something I don't think they've seen before. Mm-hmm. But I will say my upperclassmen have been amazing with the freshmen and bringing them in positive and inviting them to be part of the team. Yeah.
Riley Dykus, Abby Keller, Ashtyn Rickel, who's here tonight. We're going to talk to her about that. Raven Sherrick and Kaylin Young. So have you been impressed with how they've responded to the high school swimming meets and what they've done so far early in the season?
I absolutely have. Ashtyn is used to swimming at a higher level, so she's used to the big meets, and it's fun to watch her coming in. And the other 4 are troopers and have really been working hard to improve every time.
Good. So I looked at a few of the results back on the 4th of December. You finished 5th out of 11 schools at the Lex Invite. And then not too far ago, on the 18th, you finished 9th out of 47 schools at the Northwest Classic at BGSU. And you have to be pretty happy about that because there had to be some good competition with that many girls there.
So that was the meet I was not at.
That's right.
Yes.
That's
so
right.
I was
you were at a wedding.
Yes. And I just kept getting one thing after another. I got a text from Abby Martin telling me, congratulations, you're now number 4 on the top 10. I'm number 3. But that's amazing. And, you know, I hear Ashtyn almost broke a 17-year-old record by 0.02 seconds, but she's waiting until I'm there to watch her do it. Just really, really great swims over and over. I just kept on looking at my phone, trying not to look at my phone at a wedding, but it was just too exciting to not look at.
So if any of the girls said, hey, you know, Coach, do you got another wedding at our next meet that you could go to? Or
I could find one, I suppose.
maybe a little less pressure or something. Who knows?
Maybe, I don't know.
No, we're gonna rack it up that it was the atmosphere of the competition for sure. All right, we're gonna take a break and we'll talk to the young ladies around the table. We're brought to you in part by Terry Gribble and Associates at your County and Community Center YMCA, Dr. Erica Schieber at Bucyrus Veterinary Service, 222 West Mary Street, Bucyrus, Rod Steiger and Associates at Pizza Hut, Galleon and Bucyrus, our host of the show since 1992, and Luann Krebs at Rivers Edge Embroidery, screen printing, sponsor of our phone board t-shirts. And first up, we have freshman Ashtyn Rickel, and before we got on the air, there was an arm wrestling contest to see who would go first, and Ashtyn won because she was so excited. So welcome to the show. I certainly appreciate it. Thanks for coming tonight. So tell me about this experience that you have in the past of these big-time meets that has prepared you now for high school swimming.
Before this, I was on a USA team through Colonel Crawford, and that really helps. And right now at big meets, there's not as much pressure because the USA meets are so big, and I'm just used to it.
Are the USA meets only in Ohio, or do you go out of state for those?
We have gone out of state for them.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're seeing some top-notch competition from all over.
Yeah.
Wow. How did you get into something like that?
When I was 9, I switched over to Colonel Crawford and joined the USA team, and I've been swimming for Colonel Crawford ever since.
Where were you before?
Crestline.
Crestline. Okay, very good. So you've been swimming a long time, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Is it the only sport that you participate in?
Yes.
Okay, so you specialize in that. What is your best race that you just excel at?
I feel like the 200 IM right now.
And why is that one so much stronger for you? What is it? What is the gift and the ability that you have to be able to do that successfully?
I feel like you have to be pretty well-rounded as a swimmer, and I feel like I've gotten better at that over the years, and that's why I'm excelling at that now.
Good. Talk about, as a freshman, coming into a successful program, what these upperclassmen girls have done for you to kind of welcome you in but teach you some things along the way as well as coach, but make you feel that you're part of this.
They're so friendly and so welcoming, and it makes me feel part of like some family, and they're so nice to me.
Good, very good. Well, continued success. Will you continue to do that USA in the off season then?
Yeah.
Good for you. Well, thanks for coming out. You know, you should have gone. I'm glad you went first. You did a bang-up job. Great job. I appreciate you coming. Thank you so much. Next up is Kayla Payne, is a junior. Hi, Kayla. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming back tonight. And your junior year going pretty well so far?
Yes, it really is.
Time's coming down?
Yes, for sure.
Any PRs yet?
I have a couple in my split relays in my 50 free. I have gone down a couple seconds and gone down like a couple seconds in my 100 freestyle also.
Still room for improvement?
Oh yes, for
Lots
sure.
of room for improvement.
Yeah.
And your strongest race is?
Probably right now either the 50 free or the 100 free.
And you don't have a preference which one you like better? Okay. What's the limit? How far can you guys go?
We could probably go as far as hard as we work. If we keep working as hard as we are, we could probably make it to the point where we are at our best times and at the times we want to be at.
So when you look at all the races that you are involved in, what is kind of a target PR that you want to get on a particular race?
Probably in the 200 free relay, I want to get down to a 25 for my 50, so I could just for the rest of my teammates and be up there with them.
Yeah, very good. Continued success, stay healthy, and keep dropping those records, okay?
Thank you.
Very good. Next up, it is senior Maddy Keller, and welcome back to the show. It's been, I keep forgetting, it's been 2 years since we've done this here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably the last time we talked, you certainly were a sophomore, at least in person.
Yeah.
But now you're after it again, your last year, and is it kind of hard for you to believe that it's time that you're a senior now?
Yeah, it's really crazy, and I'm kind of sad.
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, you've been through a lot of success and gone through a lot of different things, but as that senior and kind of that leader, along with your other two seniors, does that put a lot of pressure on you to not only do what you're supposed to in the pool, but kind of the leadership stuff with young people when you have a group of 5 freshmen?
Yeah, but it also makes me want to work harder for my teammates and be a good role model for them, and I just try to stay really positive.
How do you do it? Do you talk to especially the freshmen and say, hey, listen, you're going to be okay. You're going to do it. Is it a verbal thing with you?
Yeah, well, one of them's my sister, so
yeah.
especially her. And
Maybe it's a different conversation with her than it is the
yeah,
other
a
freshmen.
little bit, but I just try to tell them to keep pushing themselves and that it'll all pay off in the end.
Yeah. Your strongest race right now would be what?
The 100 butterfly.
Okay, and are you hitting what you want to, or you still have some time to knock off there?
I still have time to knock off, but for right now, I'm happy with where I'm at for this early in the season.
So as the senior, I'm going to ask you, what is the race that you just despise? That you're just like, no, coach, I really don't want to do this one.
I don't know, probably like the 500, but also I never want to do the 100 fly, even though it's my best, so.
Okay, all right. Well, I hope that good things come, that you can all stay healthy. A lot of you go down to Canton to the natatorium, and as a senior, leave your mark on Colonel Crawford swimming, so continued success.
Thank you.
You bet, thanks for coming. Next up, Hanna Ratliff is a senior as well. Hi, Hanna, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing really well, and kind of that same question I asked Maddy was, the leadership side of it. And what have you been doing for the girls, the young girls, to make them feel part of this, but also to kind of drive them, to get the best out of them, to make your entire team better?
Well, right now I'm just telling them, like, if they keep working their hardest, like, it's going to pay off in the end. Telling them that I know, like, workouts get hard, but if you keep pushing, then they'll get easier for you as, like, the time goes on.
Every lap that you take is one lap closer to the end. Do you think about that, or you just think, I got to prepare for today, and whatever happens, happens?
Prepare for today, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, we don't want to bring tears or anything into this,
No.
but every meet it is getting closer, because what are we talking about here? State championships in a little over a month. I mean, it's the end of February, so it comes up. But as you go through January and February, what are you thinking about as far as what you want to accomplish yet, and put your name and your place with this team?
Right now, I really just want to be able to go to BG with the team and see where it goes from there.
All right. Well, good luck, and I appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
And finally, it's Abby Martin. Hi, Abby. It's good to see you again. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing really well, and you're kind of a veteran because you've done this as a freshman, and you've had success as a freshman. Does it ever get old, that success, where, or do you ever get, maybe the better comment is, do you get complacent to the point where you say, been there, done that, it's not really new, or is it more fun to just say, where can I go from here?
Honestly, for me, it's the where can I go from here, because since I got it once, I want to get it again. Like, I have a hunger for it now, so I just want to keep going back to it. I don't want to just go once and then not get to go again.
Yeah, and because you would kind of feel left out and say, well, gosh, I did it my first 2 years. I don't want to miss out on it now. Your strongest race right now, where you're at?
Say 100 back or 100 free, one of those two.
Mm-hmm. But still, have you hit the pinnacle or the top of where you want to be with that, or is it still some opportunity to get better?
I still want to get better. In the 100 back, I might be able to break the record. I'm hoping to break it within this year or next year.
Mm-hmm. What would it have to be? What kind of time?
It had to be like a minute, and I'm at like a 104, so just drop a little bit.
Wow. Now, in those practices, in the workouts in the pool, are you pushing hard every day, or do you tune it back a little bit the closer you get to a meet? You kind of shut it down a little bit, and I mean, still continue to practice, but maybe don't try to push as hard?
Well, I do try to give 110%, even in practices, so that I know that even if it hurts, I'm just bettering myself so that I can be better for the next meet, the next race. Mm-hmm. So it's just more of the, hey, can I push myself harder? Can I do this sprint a little faster? That kind of stuff.
I know all of you want to get down to Canton because that's where the state is, but I've heard BG mentioned the last couple of years. What's so special about going there as district?
Well, it's a really, really great pool. For some reason, that place always has a magical time drop thing. Like, you always swim one of your best races there. I don't know what it is about that pool.
Do you actually like it better than Canton?
I don't know about that. I'd say that they're pretty even with what I like, because they have really nice warm-up, cool-down pools, and it's just, they have really good pools there.
Nice, very good. Health-wise, good shape?
Yes.
Finally to the point of healthy.
Yes.
So that's good. Well, great success to you. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. And all of you, I hope you just do a bang-up job and get everybody that you can down to Canton. That would be really, really great.
Yes, thank you.
You bet. Take another break before we come back and talk to Coach again. Show's brought to you by Don Barr & Associates at Galleon Building Sterling Bank. Matt Studer at Spitzer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Kia, 1 mile east of the Richland Mall. Mark Osborne and Associates at E-Crane International, serving worldwide markets from the Galleon Industrial Park. And Coach, I'll say, and this is pretty typical with not only the swimmers, but it's typical with most of the athletes at your school, and that is the reason I think that you're successful is because they expect a lot of themselves. Certainly you do as a coach, but just in talking with each of them, they have goals, they know what they want to get to, and they have expectations. That's kind of a coach's dream, isn't it?
Oh, this group is 100% a coach's dream. Yes. They're always pushing harder. It's kind of funny. Some of them I'll put a hard set on, and the harder, the bigger their smiles, and I'm like, that is so weird, but okay. So they pushed me as a coach to make them better. Like they just keep pushing me to the next level of finding the new things, the best things, to get them to the next level.
Good. You were at Ontario last night, correct?
We were.
Yeah, how'd that go?
I thought they swam pretty well. There was a couple of PRs, but we're coming out of a 2-week period where we swam a lot. A lot. So there were some 2-a-days and just intense practices for 2 weeks. So I was not expecting a lot. In fact, they probably swam better than what I did expect. But I think we're at a very good spot.
Good. This Saturday you're going to Mansfield for an invitational. A lot of different teams will be there, I assume?
It's pretty much our sectional meet. I think
Okay.
there's a couple that might not be there, but for the most part, it's the big teams of our sectionals.
And then you have a sprint invite on the 15th of January. How many teams will be coming to that?
I think 8, but this group of girls is actually not going to be at the sprint meet.
Oh, okay.
We are taking them to the Northeast Classic. It's at Canton Akron. It's kind of an elite meet where you have to have qualifying times, and we're gonna start playing with some relays and start drilling down to what we're gonna do at the end.
Yeah, it's kind of like setting the table for things to come, for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when we were talking about the boys here a couple weeks ago, the GIPE relays up at Port Clinton, that's one that you had said you kind of look forward to as well,
It's
right?
it's fun, team bonding. It's just a fun day, and it's right before sectionals, so
Right.
it's kind of a way to let loose before things get real serious.
Yeah, well, it's a fun time, I'm sure, especially with the group of girls that you have. Everything's kind of laid before you. There's all kinds of opportunity, and I'm sure we'll be following as the girls have success, and keep us updated on how things go. And we just wish you the best of luck, and certainly appreciate you coming and giving your time, because I know the girls are like, when are we going to get out of here so we can go to the basketball game tonight? Because your boys are hosting a basketball game tonight. And get pizza. That's right. Yeah, Abby just said, I just want food. I don't want basketball game. I'm good for that. Well, thanks so much for coming. I appreciate it. Continued success, girls, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank
You bet. We'll take a break. It's Crestline Boys Bowling right after this timeout.